Hello, welcome to Let's Cook at Home with your artificial artist, Lyric Jones. In this video, we're going to go ahead and use a recipe from our Emerald Lagasse French door air fryer. I had mentioned in one of the videos that I was going to use the book and start to use some of the recipes specifically for the air fryer. You know I'm going to change things. So, it's just the way I roll. I'm kind of hard-headed sometimes. But he has one in here for pears, and I bought a bag of pears, and this wasn't originally what I bought the pears for. So I may end up doing two videos because this recipe only requires 2 pears. And I have a bag of pears. So, his recipe is very simple. 1 sheet of pie crust, 2 pears thinly sliced, 2 tablespoons of honey, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna up the ante a little bit, okay? I want to up the ante a little bit, just a little bit, okay? This is very simple and very basic, but we need to do a little bit more than that, okay? So let me get everything together and we'll be right back. Alright, so I decided that I'm going to go ahead and do both the desserts in the same video, okay? So let's go ahead. I have a stick of butter, really a stick and a half of butter melting in this pan. Emerald's recipe requires a pie crust. So I have cut this in half. I'm going to open it up. I had pie crust in the refrigerator, so I figured it might be time for me to use it. Alright, let's turn this off. Alright, so my butter is melting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some raisins in here. Okay, so that's probably about a half a cup of raisins. I'm going to sprinkle in a little salt. Even though it is salted butter, I'm still going to put in just a little bit of salt. Then I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. So work with me here. I'm doing 2 recipes at the same time, okay? Because my butter has melted, I have to go ahead and do what I got to do with this one real quick. But I can't turn it off. Okay? But I wanted to make sure I got that butter, that brown sugar in there in the raisins. Here I have cut my pears, and I peeled them and cut them in half. And I see what I didn't do. I need to go back. I'm going to cut y'all off. But I'm going to go in and cut the little core out. I'm going to cut that out. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and do this sauce, because these are so simple. Now this is brandy, and I need to open it. Okay. I better measure it before I get a little. Let's put in 1 tablespoon of brandy. Okay, set that to the side. Stir that up a little bit. Okay, so I can leave that to the side. Now let's go back to Emerald's recipe. Okay, so let me get him together real quick. Now Emerald's recipe, like I said, is a pie crust, 2 pears thinly sliced, some honey, and some cinnamon. So I have my pears thinly sliced, and I want to take this out of here. Let's set this over to the side. Give me this. I want to do this on here first. And what I'm... So let's set this pan out. Do I have any honey over here? I have some agave. My honey is over there, but we'll use the agave. Okay, so we're going to put our pears in. Okay, I cut it in half, so we're going to do 2. Okay, it looks like that's all that'll fit in there. And then the rest of them, I'll go ahead, after I pour those out, I'll go back and we'll pour the rest of these on there. So he wants 2 tablespoons of honey, but we're going to go with organic agave. Alright, and then he wanted cinnamon. Sprinkle some cinnamon on there. Okay, and what else? That's it. That's all he wanted. That's why I said it was so simple and so basic. I'm like, well, where's the fun at? There's no fun. So I'm going to put in, I'm going to put some raisins in. I'm going to put a few raisins in there because I need to use these up anyway. Just put a few of them in. Not much left. We'll go ahead and pour it over there. Okay, and then it says okay, so I was supposed to drizzle this on the outside and sprinkle it with sugar. Oh no, I wasn't. Fold edges slightly over. Oh no, I did it right. I did it right. So we're going to fold this over. Like this. And since it's air frying, I was going to butter the pan, but it's air fryer, so let's just use some air fryer light. Okay. This other one. You just want to push and make sure everything is tucked in there. And I'm going to roll this one up a little bit. Okay, like that. And then he says to select air fryer. Okay, and put the temperature on 375 for 12 minutes. Air fryer and 375. And what did he say, 12 minutes? Yeah, 12 minutes. I really like this oven. It's so fancy. And it didn't say if it needed to preheat. So I'm just going to go ahead and start it. And if it looks a little wonky, then we'll just turn it up a little bit. So while that's going, I'm going to come back. Let me come back so I can core those out real quick. I'm pretty sure you don't want to sit and watch me do that. So I'm going to core these pears out, and then we'll come back when it's time to take these out and put these in. Okay? Alright, so those have about 3 more minutes to go. In here, like I said, we have the melted butter, the raisins, and I put in a little bit of salt. We're going to put in a little nutmeg. We'll put in some more cinnamon. We'll some cinnamon. Then a little clover. And let's put in some lemon zest. Lemon zest. So what I did was I zested my lemons and just put them in a freezer bag. And they smell absolutely wonderful. Let me put in a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Alright. And here are my coconut flakes. But I'm going to wait to put those on. So, meantime, I'm just going to spoon in some of these raisins. Inside the part that I cored. Okay. And then I'm going to take the rest of the pears that I didn't use and just put them on top. I want to save some of this butter and brandy mixture. Here they are. Okay, and then I'm going to go over top of these again with just a little bit more of the brandy. Hold on. Then I'll take our coconut flakes and sprinkle them on top. Alright. Very simple. Very easy peasy. Set to the side. And I think I want to sprinkle it a little bit more cinnamon. I want to make sure I get some of this sugar. Right? Alright. So let's get Emerald out of here. Those are lovely. Okay. And then I'm going to air fry these. I'm going to leave the temperature the same. I'm going to leave it the same. And then we're going to hit start. But I want to do I want to do 20 minutes. Okay? Now, it's nice and brown and smell good. Can you see them? I don't want to burn myself. There we go. There we go. I just wanted to make sure they didn't stick to the pan. All right. And from here, I'll pour on the rest of the raisin and brown sugar mixture. And I'm going to put this back in the oven. I don't know who I'm playing with. Let me just go. I don't have that much left. I'm up here acting like I got more things to put this on. Let me just pour the rest of that on there like this. Okay? Now these are our quick little desserts. And once I get both of them out, I'm going to let them cool, and then we'll give them a little taste, alright? Okay? Okay? What do I want to go with? I think I want to go with, I want to go with a little bit more cinnamon. Yeah. You don't want too much nutmeg, but I could never have enough cinnamon. Never enough. Okay? And you know what else I forgot to do? Peppercorn. They were supposed to go in the oven. We're going to go ahead and put a few of them on here like that. Okay? That's all it is. I don't think I want any coconut in it. And that's it. So I'll come back after they cool off and we'll give them a taste. Alright. Everything is hopefully cool enough. I have my yogurt here. If you all haven't seen the Instapot real wide yogurt video, that was my first time making yogurt. It's still delicious. I shared it with a couple other people and they loved it. And in the video it was stringy, but I found out what it was, and the next time I make it I will adjust that. Anyway, this is what we're doing today though. So let's give this a taste. So my original plan when I bought the pears was to make this, something to put on top of my yogurt. Alright? But because I had the pears and the Emerald Lagasse cookbook, I checked in there and he had one pear recipe, so that's where we are now, and that's why I made this one. Like I said, I adjusted it. My pears, I haven't had pears in years. Pears were not always my favorite fruit. I didn't dislike them, but they weren't my favorite fruit. Okay, so if you ask me, do I want a mango or do I want a pear? I'm going to choose the mango. Alright? If you ask me, you want a papaya or you want a pear? I'm going to choose the papaya. Okay? So I said that to say this. I forgot that pears are supposed to be soft. These pears felt like little turnips. They was kind of hard. So I had to put, I hope this one will be alright, but I had to put this one back in the air fryer, and I had to put it on bake instead of air fry. So the raisins were cooking, but the pear, it was beat hard, turnip hard, okay, harder than a potato. It was hard, and I had to soften him up a little bit. Hold on. Yeah, I can get a knife through it now. But I forgot, when the knife went through, that's when I remembered, like, wait a minute, pears are supposed to be soft. These were not that, but they are now. So, I'm going to get one out, and because I had to put it back in, I went ahead and added the pecans in as well. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Alright, and then we're going to get us a little piece of this Emerald collaboration. The cookbook is basically like I say to you all. A recipe is guidelines. Okay? You can always change whatever you want in the recipe to a certain degree, depending on what it is you're cooking. Okay? But he gave a basic recipe, but I wanted something a little bit more jazzy. Okay? So I jazzed it up a little bit. So let's give it a taste. Let's taste what we did here. It's still warm. I can feel it through the saucer. It's alright. It's alright. I can taste all the cinnamon and the nutmeg. It's buttery. And it's crust. I'm going to end up eating it with the yogurt though. But it's good. Okay? Is it something that you're going to stand on top of a building and proclaim to be the greatest thing in the world? No ma'am, no sir. But is it a nice little weekday dessert? Yes it is. Okay? I like it because he used honey, I used agave. So there wasn't a lot of, it's not super sugary. Okay? So I like that. Now, let's try this one. I don't know if this spoon will get through this pear. Oh yeah, it did. Alright, let's give this a taste. This is good too. It is. This is good. Again, it's not knee-buckling good, but it is good. And that's what I wanted. I wanted something to go with my yogurt. Aside my little cakes. But I wanted to use those pears. So this is very good. It's just sweet enough. Because like I told you, you all know I don't like super sweet anyway. But if you want it sweeter, you just add a little bit more sugar. But I use the brown sugar. But this is very good. The brandy gives it a nice, warm. It tastes like you cooked it in the oven all day. That's what the brandy does. It gives it a more homemade taste. Even though this was a very quick meal. With that brandy, with the cinnamon and the pecans, it makes it feel, when you eat it, it feels like somebody cooked it in the oven for 45 minutes to an hour. And I did not. Okay? So that's it for this video. If you like it, share it, give me a nice comment at the bottom. Siri. I'm not talking to you, Siri. We're being nosy.
Okay.
Well, I tell you, this technology is something else, and I ain't said nothing to him. I guess he thought I called him. I ain't call you, Siri. He said, okay. Oh, man. But anyway, that's all I have for this video. Again, take care of yourself. Take care of those who will allow it. And keep the lyric in your heart. Till next time. Bye-bye.